and welcome to A Celebration of Community, a rally for resilience. Today's program is sponsored by Florida Power and Light, NASCAR, Daytona International Speedway, Advent Health, BB&T and SunTrust, now Truist, Coastal Cloud, Cobb Coal, the Daytona Beach News Journal, Florida Hospital Care Advantage, Halifax Health, Lowell and Nancy Lohman, TD Bank, and by Wells Fargo. Today's live stream telecast is being produced by Daytona Beach Live Stream Solutions. And now, please welcome your host, Daytona Regional Chamber President and CEO Nancy Kiefer, and 2020 Chairman of the Board from Brown & Brown, Bob Lloyd.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. Just a month ago, we were preparing for a limited in-person event and a live stream as you see it today. But here we are, 6 feet apart, bringing this event to you as best we can. In a normal year, this event would be our annual awards luncheon, where we recognize some of our best and brightest. Our Small Business of the Year awards, Nonprofit of the Year, Young Professional of the Year, sponsored by our Volusia Young Professionals Group, and the Marvin Samuels Leadership Award, sponsored by our leadership alumni. But it's not a normal year. So this year, as our chairman is about to explain, we celebrate all of our business and organizational leaders. I don't know about you, Bob, but I've decided never to complain again about chamber chicken. What we wouldn't do to sit here face to face with all of our members and enjoy the meal and fellowship.
Yeah, we have definitely been in interesting and different times, and we felt each of you deserved an award for your persistence and perseverance during this year. This gives us an opportunity to celebrate all of you and to give a little pick-me-up as we keep going through the remainder of the year, and it's kind of a pep rally, if you will.
There are some very special members that we'd like to recognize as we are celebrating the business community, starting with our trustee members. We have a few slides to recognize these businesses who invest above and beyond with the Daytona Regional Chamber.
Their support allows us to pursue our mission of advocating an economic and business environment so that we can serve as a platform through which our members and the entire business community can thrive.
You will see these members frequently serving as sponsors for our events, such as today's celebration. They often invest in the emerging leaders within our organizations and your organizations by having them participate in Leadership Daytona, the premier leadership development program in the region.
This investment in our organization and in our community often leads to their service on the boards of local nonprofit organizations and other community groups that all serve to improve our quality of life in the region. We'd also like to recognize a group of members who showed their support with a new program in 2020, our mission members.
Yeah, Bob, it was right as we began our mission member program that COVID hit, affecting the way we all do business. While their recognition varied from what we thought it would look like, these members never blinked in showing their support.
They were featured as a collective sponsor of the very first Let's Connect virtual networking program we offered when gathering in person became difficult. We've been able to highlight them as strong supporters in email and social media, as well as the few socially distanced events we've been able to hold, such as the Business Links golf tournament.
We're grateful for their support and look forward to growing their ranks in the coming year. Now let's see the first segment of our member businesses being back in business safely.
Hi, I'm Dr. Delisi Haynes with Family First Health Center, and we have never stopped serving. So one thing you'll notice is we have an empty waiting room. So we've had all our patients call from outside, and then we escort them directly in. You'll see behind me, Chantel is coming in her full PPE with Wave Chantel. So we just do our COVID testing in the parking lot and bring back our patients who are not symptomatic to take care of them in the clinic. So it's just one of the ways we've been able to continue to serve in a safe manner. We hope you've all found a way to do that as well. Again, I'm Dr. Delisi Haynes, founder and CEO of Family First Health Center, where we provide personalized healthcare with compassion and respect through an innovative monthly membership. Take care.
It has been so inspiring to see our business community persevere and do the best they can to be back in business safely. That is something we've aspired to here at the Daytona Regional Chamber as well. I would like to thank the Convention and Visitors Bureau for co-branding this Back in Business Safely campaign that we brought to our community back at the beginning of COVID. Leading by example has been important to all of us. In my long chamber career, I have always felt that the right leader was in the right position at the right time. This year is no exception, and while it certainly hasn't been the year he envisioned, our chairman of the board, Bob Lloyd, has provided the chamber staff, the board, and the membership with selfless leadership in a very difficult time. I am pleased to introduce your 2020 chairman of the board, Bob Lloyd, for his State of the Chamber address.
Thanks, Nancy. Very kind introduction. And thank you to all of you for attending. In November of last year, we were coming off the centennial celebration of our chamber, and I challenged us to think about a new vision, the next 100 years. I asked each of you to think about your own business and the business community as a whole and how it was positioned for the next 100 years. I asked you to imagine a business community, not how it was presently and not how it was in the past, but rather how you wanted it to be. 2020 was the first year of our next century, and we were committing ourselves to making it better for our children and our grandchildren. What a difference a year makes. If 2020 is indeed the first year of our next 100 years as a business community and a chamber, there is nowhere to go but up. Rather than speak to you in this odd virtual environment about the lofty visionary goals for the next 100 years, I want to take a moment to reflect and talk about the next 100 years, one year at a time. 2020 taught us three important lessons: humility, resilience, and gratitude. 2020 was very humbling for me personally and for our concepts of power and progress in this world. The pandemic really brought home the insignificance of our first world problems, gripes, and controversies. When our own mortality and the survival of our economy were staring us in the face, we all had to reorient ourselves to new priorities of importance. The pandemic did not discriminate against rich versus poor, powerful versus powerless, optimists versus pessimists, faithful versus faithless. All were equal in the onslaught. President John F. Kennedy had a plaque on his desk in the Oval Office with a quote from the Breton's Fisherman's Prayer: "O God, thy sea is so great, and my boat is so small." 2020 brought us this lesson of humility. Resilience may be a term overused in 2020, like unprecedented and pivot, but we have sure learned the meaning of resilience this year. Our community rallied, responded, and persevered. Like a year-long hurricane, we helped each other and waited for the winds to stop in order to rebuild and rebound. We will come out of these challenging times, and we will be stronger in the next 100 years. But it all starts with 2021 and the foundation we build this year. Lastly, we learned gratitude. With Thanksgiving next week, we can all be thankful for the lessons of 2020 and for the blessings of life itself. While we acknowledge the suffering and losses in our business community in 2020, we are grateful for those that have survived and thrived. Our chamber is stable because of you and your commitment. Led by a visionary board of directors representing all of our business industries, the chamber has helped lead through the early stages of the pandemic to where we are today, celebrating those who are back in business safely and recognizing the resilience of our community. Your chamber locked arms and took early, decisive action to respond and support our community. We recognize the months ahead will continue to challenge our resources, and we are committed to being innovative and responsive to the needs of our members. Under the leadership of Len Marinaccio, your 2021 chairman of the board, I am confident that we will continue to provide the strength and leadership needed throughout our work in the region. God willing, this next century of the chamber will never see another year like 2020. But regardless, we should all be thankful to live in the greater Daytona Beach community and be grateful for the life and promise that it affords all of us. To our sponsors, we appreciate your support. Without you, these programs would not be possible. We wish you all a prosperous and successful 2021. Now, let's see some more examples of our business community rallying to resilience.
For more than 60 years, Father Lopez Catholic High School has been educating students, fostering leaders, and promoting faith and justice in Daytona Beach and beyond. Thanks to our current community members and past generations, Father Lopez has experienced great momentum these past few years. Even though the pandemic tried to bring the whole world to an abrupt halt, the reality is that the human spirit marches on, and so does Father Lopez. 2 of our faculty members even brought new babies into the world during this crisis. Their beautiful faces give us hope for the future. I will share their pics at the end of this video. Our world has been turned upside down this past year, but we have found new and creative ways to move forward safely and responsibly. As a matter of fact, we celebrated our first ever drive-in style graduation this past May at Municipal Stadium. This event marked the beginning of many new ideas that were put in place to stay open for business and to celebrate our students and their accomplishments. As we approach a new year filled with promise, may God bless the greater Daytona Beach area, our community, and our beautiful city. Go Green Wave.
To everyone who submitted photos and videos for our program today. Everything you are doing to operate as safely as possible shows how much you care. You care about your clients, about your staff, and about your community.
Now we're really going to shake things up, and you're going to enjoy this next part of our program. We wanted to give you a little motivational fuel to keep on keeping on. And so it is my pleasure to introduce one of your fellow Daytona Regional Chamber members, a Zig Ziglar Legacy Certified speaker, and the founder of the Positive Thought Alliance, Frank Stewart.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here and be part of the celebration of community, Bob, and the Rally for Resilience. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure and a sincere gratitude to Nancy and Ken for giving me the opportunity to deliver a message of inspiration and hope. And I'll do my best this afternoon, and I hope that you enjoy your time with me. A special thanks to the Chamber staff, the members, and all of the volunteers for leading the way this year with information, positive direction, handing out the PPE, and all the community outreach efforts, which were led by so many to share the resources available with as many as possible. Thanks to anyone who answered the call from somebody for help, as we've all needed help this year in one way or another, and at some point in time in the past 9 months, whether it was emotionally or financially, we've all needed help and reassurance that we're okay, that we'll pull through this, that we will survive and thrive again, and we will. In fact, we already are. This year, we've learned to deal with things that are outside of our control. And it reminds me of the Charles Swindoll message that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. Okay? That you get to choose the one string that you have to play on, and that string, friends, is your attitude. An attitude can make or break a home, a business, a community, or a chamber of commerce, right? So the next time you get discouraged and caught up in your circumstances, just remember, you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it. And who we become on our journey is a lot more important than when it is that we, achieve our goals. Now, my brother taught me, he used to say, Frankie, it doesn't matter the speed in which you travel. All that matters is that you're traveling in the right direction. And right now, you might be in the pivot stage. You might be feeling that, back in January, that we were in fourth gear. Things were going good. Then all of a sudden, we're driving a stick shift and we had to knock it down into first. Then we're into second. Then we're into first. Then we're into second. And maybe it feels that right now that we're in second or third gear and you're ready to put the pedal to the metal, right? To make up for some lost time. But here in Daytona, we know all about shifting gears and going for the checkered flag and persevering, because persistence beats resistance, right? And I believe that we are a much closer community than what we were a year ago. I believe that you know your neighbors better than what you knew before. And when a community is, I lean on you, you lean on me, that's what makes us a community. Would you agree? Absolutely. Because we're a tough bunch. We're resilient. Don't tell us something can't be accomplished, because if you drive down A1A right now and you look at the completion of the reconstruction, take a good look at the resorts that were hammered by 100+ mile an hour sustained winds that were filled with sand, right? All that reconstruction work is finished. Those oceanfront properties now, they look fantastic. Look at all the new hotel developments which have come in. Remember how we rallied and came together, found the common ground? We found the spirit of the resource that makes the Daytona region a truly phenomenal area and a truly big-time resource, and that is our community spirit, right? Because, a lot of us, we had to scramble when that happened, and a setback, I believe, is nothing more than a setup for a comeback. Let me say that again. A setback is nothing more than a setup for a comeback, and we're in a comeback right now because the financial leaders and the members of our business community have had positive outreach efforts to help the community find the resources needed to rebuild, to regrow, to bounce back. And that's what we do. We bounce back better, stronger, healthier, and more prepared to face the next storm. And make no mistake, we're going to be challenged again. You can count on that. We're going to get hit again, but we'll be ready. Friend helping friend, neighbor helping neighbor, businesses helping each other, with the chamber there as a backbone to the community. The church is helping, providing faith and food. The hospitals, the caregivers. Who remembers the car rallies to support the caregivers, right? They're out there working with faith, overcoming fear, providing the services that we need to feel comfortable to keep doing what we're doing. And that's what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about a celebration. I'm talking about a celebration of our community and the rally for resilience of who we are. There are so many great people here in Volusia, Flagler counties. That's what I see. I see the best place in Florida to live. And through my many years in vacation hospitality sales, I've lived in Key West, St. Pete Beach, Miami Beach, Orlando, and 6 years ago, I moved here to Ormond to work on Daytona Beach, and that was the best move I have ever made in my life because I love it here. I feel in my spirit soul that this is the best place in Florida to live, the best place in the world to live. And I know that a lot of you have lived here a long time. You've lived here all of your lives, and I want to say thank you. Thank you, and I want to compliment you for building such a desirable place to call home, for building such a desirable place to relocate to. And a lot of you, like me, have relocated here from someplace else. And you know exactly what I'm talking about because it's the people here, the opportunities, the quality of life right here in Volusia County. And you know, I'm from Oklahoma originally. And a lot of people will say, well, I've never been to Oklahoma. Well, let me tell you, Oklahoma is a lot like this area, just without a beach and a lot colder winters. Because, you know, the reason I feel this way is it's the people. The people in Oklahoma, you know, they'll care for you. They'll give you the shirt off of their back. In Oklahoma, you have to be tough. You have to be able to handle the wind, tornadoes, the heat in the summertime, the serious cold in the wintertime. You have to be tough. And it reminds me of the story there in the Southern Plains that Napoleon Hill always used to talk about because there's not a whole lot to do out in the Southern Plains, and Napoleon Hill liked to tell a story about his grandfather who was a wagon wheel maker. And when his grandfather would go clear the land to be able to provide the room to grow the crops and provide the wood to build the wagons, he always left a couple of trees right there in the middle of the fields because it was from those trees. He understood that those trees would be forced to dig deep to build a stronger root system. Those trees became stronger because of facing the elements without protection, and they grew and they became stronger and stronger. And it was from those wheels that he would use to make the wagon wheels. Excuse me, I got that a little bit wrong. You know, hey, I'm not perfect, right? So it was from that wood, from those trees that became stronger and stronger that he would use to make the wagon wheels because the wagon wheels needed to be made from the strongest wood. The wagon wheels supported the load. And so that's what it is. That's what we're going through right now. You know, we have to be able to handle the toughest assignment. And we're in a tough assignment right now, right? So you better believe what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And look at the One Daytona project. Look at the massive improvements that have been made at the Speedway. Look at the value of real estate here, the quality of our education, the number of affordable higher education opportunities right here in Volusia County. People move here from all over the world because of the quality of education here. We enjoy a strong in-state tourism, which continues to drive our local economy. We are the birthplace of speed. We are the world's most famous beach. And if you look at the sheer number of great people who care, who volunteer, who give to others when in need, the strength of our spiritual leaders who inspire and encourage others to help their neighbors, right? That's what it's all about. So in recognition of what we've been through together, resilience is our theme tonight, and I'm here to celebrate that is who we are. The hurricanes 3 and 4 years ago, they hammered us, but we rose back up twice. And when you get knocked down twice, you stand back up 3 times. If we get knocked down 12 times, we're going to stand up 13 because we're a resilient, tough bunch who won't quit. And much about success is simply the ability to follow up, to follow through, and finish what you start. You're not beaten by being knocked down. You're only beaten if you stay down. And from where I'm sitting, where I'm standing right now, I haven't seen anybody choose, because it's all about your choices. Nobody chooses in this area to stay down, right? Now, let's catch our breath here for just a second. I know that was a lot to lay out, but I wanted to share something. You know, I'm in an RBC group. My RBC group is led by Brian Maseveth, and we meet on Tuesday mornings at DB Pickles there on Nova. And it's a small group. It's also led by Jane Eddy, Laura Radford, and we have a great little group. And today, Micah Lill presented to us. Micah's also part of our thing. Micah from the YMCA, and also this is Diabetes Month, this Diabetes Awareness Month. Micah gave a presentation to us today, and I got to tell you, it's so fantastic, all the different little benefits and things that you receive from the chamber. But you know what? It's the connections. It's the friendships. It's about the information that you receive back, and that what you understand a better thing. And Micah shared some information with me today, and I got to say, there's some really cool people involved and some really neat things that are happening here. Halifax Health, big kudos to them. Big thank you to them. The Lohman family. Wow, you guys have made a massive difference. And the going forward. Diabetes days are numbered here because there's some right people getting involved, and we're going to have some really cool things that are happening here. But I also wanted to share the story of three women who are fantastic leaders in our community who make a difference. And they're their stories. I'm so honored to be able to share their stories with you in a brief summary right now. And I want to go ahead and get started with Carmen Ruiz. Carmen, the News Journal's Small Business Woman of the Year with Fast Signs here in Daytona Beach. Carmen's inspiration is being able to have a positive impact on someone's life, to be able to influence and help those in need. Her desire is to make a difference, not only in the business community, but where a Fast Signs organization does provide fantastic service and the company has enjoyed many years of growth. But however, more importantly for Carmen is to complement that business success with personal growth opportunities. As she is enhancing her business success with a movement towards significance for the community. Her involvement with participation with various boards, including our own Daytona Regional Chamber of Commerce as a member of the Board of Directors, Carmen striving to achieve a ripple effect in the economy, into the people here, into the difference that she can create in their lives. That's her strive. That's her inspiration. That's her motivation, is to move from success to significance into legacy. And Carmen, as I've gotten to know her over the last 2 years, her biggest strength truly is in her positive mental attitude, which is expressed in a very humble servant manner. She feels the biggest reason for her success is in building a team around her that follows through with the company's growth goals while striving to exceed expectations. She fully understands that her employees take care of her customers. So she treats her customers, that the employees treat the customers well, that they exceed the expectations. And that, to her, is the most important element of the day, is the time that she spends with her own employees. And that enables her to continue to strive in that success to significance and to legacy. So Carmen exemplifies many of the principles that I teach in the Science of Success in Napoleon Hill Foundation, beginning with definiteness of purpose, which is commonly referred to today as clarity of vision. Clarity equals prosperity. So we look forward to many, many years with Carmen Ruiz being a leader in our community, and I'm thankful and blessed to call her friend. So I just wanted to quickly mention that. She did win the News Journal's Small Business Woman of the Year award, and it was very well deserved. Now, next up is somebody that I've been so happy to have met over this last year. Maria Davila, founder of Healthy Souls International and winner of the News Journal's Humanitarian Award. Maria feels that circumstances do not define you. She has a strong passion to create a wave by making an impact, to help others survive when they're hardest hit, and to serve the Lord by leading with a specific example of care and love, by spreading hope and encouragement where oftentimes there is none, as she can relate to what they're going through. Thanks to the generous support of so many, Healthy Souls International has been able to organize teams of volunteers to work with multiple organizations and to organize teams of volunteers, from many of which come from the chamber members, to provide disaster relief in the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, Florida Panhandle. She's been out to Louisiana twice this fall, maybe 3 times. I know of twice at least. She's always providing inspiration. So when Mother Nature knocks out your power, Maria Davila is there as a bright, shining star, providing hope and inspiration to all those around her. Not only here in Daytona, but she goes to the disaster relief areas regularly. She gives hope to those who are knocked down but not out. She has a tremendous heart, a beautiful spirit, soul, and ability to inspire those around her to become better people. She encourages everyone to give of their resources, their time, and fully exemplifies the philosophy that the more you give, the more you receive. Right? That's the universal law of nature. The more you give, the more you receive. And I know this to be true about Maria because she inspires me to be a better man, to become more involved with the local community. Currently, she's creating a community building youth initiative, which includes Sheriff Chitwood and the Emergency Management Organization by providing troubled youth with an opportunity to assist in disaster relief preparedness program, providing an opportunity for high schoolers to work side by side with local law enforcement officers to build new relationships, by serving in the community, creating hope for the future by delivering food for seniors and planting seeds within kids to inspire an optimistic outlook for their future development. Maria believes that to keep the community together, you must work side by side, shoulder to shoulder, as this will foster a newfound respect and a better understanding of each other. Impacting today's youth as the youth enter into a faster paced world than what I grew up in. You know, it's much faster paced now. Things are different. But Maria knows that we can make a big difference with today's youth if they just understand that we're all red-blooded human beings. We all have feelings. We all need love and support and understanding to respect each other's differences. Maria is a perfect example of the celebration of community and the rally for resilience, and it truly is a blessing to have her in the community and for me to be able to call her friend. And I look forward to partnering up with Maria on different things in the future. It's an honor to have her with us. Now, last person I want to meet or share a story of is somebody that is special. This woman is special to all of us. Okay? Her name is Charlene Greer, and she's the winner of the Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award from the NASCAR Foundation. Just announced a little bit ago, a couple of weeks back, a week and a half ago, delivering a huge win for the community because as together, by supporting each other, we've attained a new level of national recognition which has never been achieved here in Daytona. Charlene defines the saying that a rising tide floats all boats, right? Her win provided a donation to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Volusia, Flagler counties of $100,000. She and her husband, Kurt, have transformed the Jeep Beach from a regional local club to a full 501c3 charity. The charity organization of community that serves and provides support for 35 different charities. 35 different charities. Charlene sees the full potential of community service and feels it is her responsibility to be a full-time volunteer. She completely exemplifies the term applied faith and delivers it in a way that showcases her abilities with confidence and conviction. This inner confidence inspires, motivates those around her to naturally want to follow her lead and make our community the best that it can become for all to enjoy. Her humble approach is combined with an enthusiastic, positive energy spirit, which is very contagious and inspirational. She cultivates creativity and encourages human connection to push us all to begin to think outside of the box and how it is that we can continue to come up with new ways to give. And she loves to provide an opportunity for the area kids, for the youth, for the generation of tomorrow to fully believe that they have the capacities to reach their potential, exceed their own dreams and goals. She believes in that. And you know what? That's pretty dang cool. And I can go on and on about Jeep Beach and Charlene Greer. But I'm restricted at the moment by a little bit of time. So I'll just close with this about Charlene, okay? And that is several of my closest friends. They love and fully believe in her. They believe in how generous she is with her time. They believe in her community outreach service. They believe in the mission that she has created with Jeep Beach, and they're fully in support of her. And for me, that's the ultimate compliment. And so I'd like to say that we're blessed and thankful to have not only Charlene Greer, and Maria Davila and Carmen Ruiz, but we're blessed to have every single chamber member. We're blessed to have leadership like Bob. We're blessed to have Nancy, Ken, Jennifer, Eileen, Brian, all of the chamber folks. I'm missing some. I'm sorry if I'm missing you. But you know what? I'm thankful and happy, and thankful for allowing me to be here today and to have my message. And I cannot wait to see how the future, 2020, it's been a year of growth. It's been an understanding year. It's been an introspective year in a lot of ways. We've all had to deal and overcome our own inner obstacles. But going forward, our future is very bright. And I can't wait to see how it all develops and all the great things that are going to happen here. So that's what I wanted to share today. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be here today and enjoy a little bit of time. So, all right. Thank you.
So thanks, Frank, so much for delivering this uplifting and wonderful message. We truly live in a special community. And it is definitely the people that make it so wonderful. Let's take one last look at some of the Daytona Regional Chamber members that are being back in business safely and under the difficult circumstances that we've endured in 2020.
And what you're doing locally there for the business community to put a premium on safety and safely reopening one business at a time, I think is really going to advantage Florida. I'm not surprised that your chamber was one of the first in Florida to do that.
The COVID unit is a pretty tightly run collection of people, and it's a microcosm of what goes on everywhere in a hospital. It involves the care of a whole slew of people. And the closest, most continuous care is obviously that by the nurses. And far and away, they have it the toughest. You know, standing in hot PPE for 10 to 12 hours a day is draining, and the chronicity of the disease in some people can be exhausting.
I came in and says, if you need somebody to help you downstairs, I'm willing to go down and help. Give me the rules, the regulations. And I geared up, and that was it. I was down there, and I've been there since March.
I've yet to hear anyone complain down there. And they show up, they do their job, they do it willingly, they're emotionally involved. And I probably don't think there's a better example of the whole crew of people at Halifax as it exists in the biocontainment unit. The people involved there are extremely dedicated and want to be there and want to do this. And I think they feel this is a kind of a higher calling for them.
We're here to help, not just do a job, but here to help patients get through what they have to get through so they can feel better, and Halifax Health has helped us in doing that in a lot of ways. I've been nursing for many years, but I'm going to let you know that this virus doesn't pick and choose. It just does what it does.
We get extremely closely attached to these patients. It's hard not to. The patients that are in there for 2, 3, 4 weeks, we know them, we know their families through FaceTime and so forth, and that can be emotionally draining. But there are plenty of success stories down there. There's plenty of people that walk out on some home oxygen. There have been people that have left on no oxygen to return to their normal lives.
We hope today's program has given you the inspiration and encouragement to continue doing all that you do for our community. I'm truly inspired each and every day, though, by a special group of individuals, and that's the staff here at the Chamber. You know, without Janet and Jim and Ken and Nicole and Brian and Shauna and Eileen, I tell you, that group cares about the members. They know how member-centric we are, and I want to thank them for all they do for the community, working hard each and every single day.
COVID unit is
So, Bob, I don't know about you, but I have decided that we're just going to remove some words completely from our vocabulary heading into 2021, and I'm sure Len will appreciate that as well. So after today, we are no longer going to use the word pivot.
Yeah, no more pivoting. This is Daytona Beach, home of the world's center of racing. I think we should shift. For our final shift of the program, we've got a special message for you. Take a look at this.
Hi everybody, Ross Chastain here, driver of the Chip Ganassi Racing number 42 Chevy. What a crazy year this has been. And while everyone around the world is dealing with change, here in Daytona Beach, we shift. Your Daytona Regional Chamber and the local business community has embraced the racing culture and has embodied the need to shift. Trust me, as a NASCAR driver, shifting is an important part of getting you to the finish line and victory lane. I know the greater Volusia County business community is up to the challenge. And I just want to encourage you to keep shifting and find that next gear. I love Daytona Beach because as a native Floridian, I remember coming there as a little boy, watching the races and enjoying the world's most famous beach. I look forward to seeing you all next February at the Daytona 500. Now go get that checkered flag, everybody.
You know, that example of that video right there just shows you what I think needs to be our new slogan for 2020, and that is shift happens. So, you know, all of us need to kind of roll with the punches as we have for the duration of this year. It's been crazy. It's been very 2020. You know, let's just roll with it. We're going to handle it and move on.
Bob, let's agree. We'll share that special message with our membership through another means. But for today, we're going to shift and just close out the program by thanking everybody for the great message. Special thanks to all of our sponsors, our trustee members, our mission members, Frank, thank you for your very inspirational and motivational message this afternoon. Jason Learman, to you and your team at Daytona Beach Livestream, I wish you all could see the studio. You know, chambers of commerce aren't meant to be studios, but we made it work today. We've had to go with the flow. And all I can tell you is that this is how we're going to go moving forward. We're going to be innovative. We're going to move when things don't work right. And we're going to make sure that we bring our community to a place where they're successful.
Hey, we just roll with it, y'all. And thank you all for tuning into this program this afternoon. As Ross Chastain said, let's all find that next gear and get to the checkered flag. On behalf of the Board of Directors and the entire team here at the Daytona Regional Chamber of Commerce, we wish you a great rest of the year, and we'll see you in Victory Lane. So long, everybody.